if I ask you to respond to the word youth, what would you say? I'm saying the word youth. Somebody give me a few instant responses. What do you?
Creative.
What?
Future.
Future.
Creative.
Creative. Anything else over this side?
Energetic.
Energetic. Yeah, sure. Anything else?
Artistic.
We've had that already. Creative. Sorry, Victor. Anybody else? What? Anything else? Sorry?
Innovative.
Innovative, yes. Okay, what's coming across is innovative, creative, what else? Artistic, what else? Jobless. What?
Jobless.
Jobless. Now we're getting to something serious. Anything else?
Ambitious.
Amasese, you're welcome. How are you?
Thank you.
What?
Ambitious.
Ambitious.
Passionate.
Passionate. Yeah. We're getting that. There's a trend developing. Yeah? What? Energetic. We had that one already. You weren't listening. You're a bad student.
Crime.
Okay, so in summary what we've talked about, youth, creative, the positives, youth, creativity, energetic, no, positive wasn't used, energetic, artistic, talented, and all these things being willing and ready to do something. Then we had a more serious one called jobless, right? I expected more on that vein, right? I think, yes, what has been said are other possibilities. Youth have talent, they have abilities, they're full of energy, as they should be, they're all young people. But what's missing? What's missing are jobs, employment, proper skills. These are the issues that the youth, not just of Kenya, but the youth of Africa. There are something like 50 million young people, with 3 or 4 million coming onto the job market every year throughout Africa. Africa is in crisis, let me tell you. Right? I'm an outsider, but I can see it. The young people, if there aren't jobs for young people in the future, Africa is in crisis. Now, not just Africa. The whole world is in crisis because youth unemployment is a serious, serious issue. You saw there was, in Italy, which is a rich country, the vast majority of young people are unemployed. Spain, 45% of the unemployed people are youth. So there's a crisis of youth employment throughout the entire world. That's something that the world has to address, and how does it go about addressing it? I think another word I didn't hear that I expected to hear was skills. Because energy is no good on its own. Being artistic and talented are no good on their own if you don't have skills. Skills is what takes you in a direction. Skills is the rudder of the ship, right? Skills is the driving force. Skills provides the signpost to your career in the future. So I'm disappointed I didn't hear the word skills from anybody, okay? So one of the first things we need throughout the world, not just Africa, are skills. Now, skills, what kind of skills? What's the other dominant development throughout the world in the last 20 years? What is the one thing that has changed the world in the last 20 years?
Technology.
Technology. Everybody said it. So everybody said it. So technology. So you need to marry youth skills and technology. And it doesn't matter what the skill is, whether it's agriculture, whether it's farming, whether it's waste collection, whether it's high-powered computing, doesn't matter. Technology is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So, where do you get these? So, skills, we need to concentrate on technology related. Technology embedded, you know all the phrases. Technology infused, technology based. Doesn't matter what phrase you use. Technology based skills are critically important for the future of the world, and in particular for the future of Africa, where the youth are making up an increasing proportion of the entire population. So, that's the big context, that's the big picture stuff, right? When you're looking down on a satellite on the world, these are the issues that really matter. This is the most important issue that's facing the world right now. So, where do we get these skills? You know, you don't pick them up, you don't go online automatically or they don't come in the post. So what is the next thing that the governments have to pay attention to? Where do you get all these skills? You don't get them in primary schools. You should get something in secondary education about, they call it enterprise, entrepreneurialism, something around that area. But where are the places you're supposed to get these skills? Stony silence. TVET, isn't it? The whole technical and vocational education sector. Every country is charged, has a responsibility to provide skills to its young people through its technical vocational. You know the word TVET, don't you? TVET, technical and vocational education and technology skills. There are polytechnic colleges all over the place. There are tertiary colleges all over the place. There are training institutes all over the place. Then there are colleges of technology all over the place. So what's required is that first of all, governments invest in these colleges to make sure that they have the relevant equipment, and secondly, that the curriculum is related to where the jobs are outside in the real world, right? That connection is not being made all over the world, not being made anywhere. A lot of these colleges, and I'm not criticizing these colleges, I'm just saying that they're providing the same skills that they did 10, 20 years ago. That's no good. That's no good. The skills now have to be technology related, and they have to be tied into enterprise or into entrepreneurialism, as they call it. That's a big, big, long French word, entrepreneurialism, right? All it means is that you have a get up and go, and that you see an idea and you market it and you sell it. Everybody tells us there won't be factories anymore, big factories anymore. And of course, there actually won't be. And we're all looking with our mouths open at that guy called Trump in America, who says he's going to open all these factories all over the place. And that's a whole lot of nonsense, because there won't be factories all over the place, right? If there are factories all over the place, it'll be robots that will be making the equipment as they are right now. 90% of the activity in a motor engineering, in a motor plant right now is carried out by robots, right? And a minority are working on the computers, on the driving forces, and watching the production, etc., etc. I told this story before. 15 years ago in California, and it's not just in high-tech industries. 15 years ago in California, there were 36,000 people in the wine industry. In other words, going into the land, picking the grapes, processing the grapes, bottling the wine, etc., etc. 37,000 people. Say producing X amount of bottles of wine for exports, right? Now, last year, 5,000 people were working in the wine industry, right? Producing twice as much wine as the 36,000 people produce. So what has happened? The introduction of technology, even into manual skills areas, that's a killer. That's really a knockout. If you can automate machines to pick the grapes, to process them, to produce the wine, to bottle it, everything's been done. So 3,000 or 4,000 people are now doing what 36,000 people did 10 years ago. And the real knockout blow is producing twice as much. So that's the future. So therefore, what do we have to do? What do governments, what do ministries of education, even of higher education, what do ministries of technical and vocational skills have to do? They really have to look at the entire level of programs and courses and see how ICT is integrated in there. That's the first thing. Have the equipment, because the equipment has come down in price, as you know, massively. A television camera 15 years ago would have cost over $1 million shillings to buy. A big TV camera, the ones that put on their shoulders. A Vita camera would have cost at least $1 million. Now you can buy it for a tiny amount, and it's only as big as a stills camera. It's only as big as any kind of camera, and it's the quality of that camera is totally sophisticated, broadcastable standard video. So there's no excuse for not putting technology into these places now. Technology is cheap. It's completely cheap. So what needed is curricular change, introduction of technology to the curriculum in everything. Farming, doesn't matter what it is, motorbike maintenance, doesn't matter what it is, technology is a part of it. That's what has to be done. Staff have to be trained. And then this business of entrepreneurialism. You've all heard that word, haven't you?
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur. Everybody knows about being an entrepreneur. But what is it? Unfortunately, even in universities, sometimes you can get a degree in business and entrepreneurialism is tacked on to the end of it. Business and entrepreneurialism. But you know, entrepreneurialism is not something you learn from a guy who comes in as a lecturer with a collar and tie like me and talks about it, right? That's almost useless. Entrepreneurialism is something that you practice. You get it wrong, you try it again, you get it wrong, you get it right. 80% of startups fail. That's a fact of world life. So you get it wrong, you get it right. Eventually. That's, you know, these are the realities of life. So entrepreneurialism is not a theory. Entrepreneurialism is something you practice. And you practice until you get it right. And then you get a company going in, who knows, you might get very, very rich at the end of it. But don't imagine that you're going to become an entrepreneurial straight away. It's a learning process.
I think I agree with Jerome in stating that unemployment is a major issue in Africa today. We have a large proportion of the population is young, and we haven't done a whole lot to prepare the youth for future jobs. So technology, as you said, is an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity that we need to leverage to create new jobs. If you take the creative world, as you said, Nigeria has a pretty active creative world. We have a lot of movies coming out of Nigeria. But if you look at most of Africa, there's not much. If you take the Ivory Coast, there's no media industry in the Ivory Coast. So this for me is really a golden opportunity, and I keep saying technology is an opportunity because we have a lot of sectors that have not taken off, and we can use technology to help those sectors take off. The creative media sector is a sector that can create a lot of wealth in Africa. I mean, if you can create movies, you can create games, you can create all those things that people consume, then you'll be creating jobs, you'll be creating wealth for yourself and also for your communities. So, I mean, as we all know, if you look at the way technology is evolving with artificial intelligence, where you're going to have more robots doing the jobs that we do today. So we need to think very hard about what role will the youth do in the future, what kind of jobs the youth will do with the robots taking over most of the industries. So I think the technology skills is an area where the youth can prepare themselves, they can learn those skills and then be creative, right? and also continue to create industries, new industries in the high-tech sector. Thank you, Mary.
People taking time to adapt to the idea that technology is part of life today, but there is a really sustained effort to actually get technology within the education sector. And as we speak, the curriculum of the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development are in the process of developing a curriculum that will be used all through, from the early stages, from standard 1 all the way up. And we've seen that the digital literacy program has started in the country. It's a long time coming. We have the laptops being introduced to primary schools. And it may seem like a drop in the ocean, but I think it's a beginning and a starting point for accepting technology within the education sector. So maybe we'll see the fruits after a few years. It's still early days, and we still have issues of connectivity in the rural areas, as we know. Even where we are, it's not that good or that cheap, but these are things that are being worked on.
She's so don't talk about the government or politics, or how screwed up the government is. No. We don't even talk about our dreams. We simply discuss how our days have been. Mine, either at rehearsals or at a show, has a balance. A balance between work, the occasional hair appointment, and constant hangouts with her friends, Shiko, Gracie, and Tracy with an eye. And once in a while, she will tell me tales of their epic adventures, to which I simply reply with emojis that range from a simple smile to the one of laughter with tears in its eyes. And I know I'm a poet, and I could easily come up with words to describe the occasion. But why waste time? Ha 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 is as far as I'll go. Because after all, we are just having dumb conversations with smarties.
Traditionally, we believe that business only existed in certain places. So, for example, I come from Zambia. And traditionally, we believe that the only way we make money is if we go into the mines and we dig out copper. And so now you can see that the disadvantage of that is that when the world copper prices go down, that means we've got no money to make as a country. But then it means that we still have to tackle problems. And in tackling problems, we find solutions, and as we find solutions, hopefully we create business opportunities by solving problems and by solving what we like to think of as people's frustrations. And if you've come to Bongo Hive, you'll hear us use the word frustrations a lot, because we actually think frustration is a cool word. It's once you solve people's frustrations, hopefully they're willing to pay you for solving those frustrations. And one of the first businesses I got involved in, I met a client, and this was my first client for that business, and the comment he made to me was, "Don't make it hard for me to pay you." And it's an exciting thing to hear when you hear a client say to you, "Don't make it hard for me to pay you." You're like, "Okay, great, how large is this bank account? And do I need to have a bank account? Are you going to pay me by check? Are you going to do it by electronic transfer? Are you going to use M-Pesa? Like, how are you going to pay me?" But based on that phrase, I mean, there's a lot more when you scratch beyond the surface of that phrase, when you start to think about what it actually means when a client says to you. It's exciting to see your ideas and to see that you've decided to take the creative form and start to enterprise around it and start to talk about clients and start talking about customers. But when we talk about making it hard for the client to pay you, what are the things that make it hard for a client to pay you? Because at the end of the day, if you're not receiving money, then the life cycle of your business, then it becomes very, very short, and could easily die if you're not careful. And in doing a service, the first thing that we need to do is pay attention and pay very, very close attention to what it is our clients want. And yes, we are good at what we do, we may be experts, or we may have a certain knowledge, but remember that the client still knows what it is that they're looking for. And it is in paying a good ear to that we need to realize, how do we help them gain value with using our skills to achieve what it is that they want to do. So for example, if we had a client who came in and said they would like to reach a certain sector of our society, they would like to reach youths in a certain area of our society, talk about, for example, health. We may not be the experts in health, but by using our skills, we need to be paying particular attention to what it is they want to say around health. That helps us then deliver on that and make sure that they can gain that advantage.
Sijui kanta na kesho, gani ngali na uwezo wa kuifanya, nitaifanya hadi mwisho. Mwambieni huyo devil, simogopi shetani, sagodi yuko nami hadi kifo. Kanta na kesho, nipe nguvu na uwezo wa kijana na akili za mzee. Daima niwe imara, wasiniangushe. Naona saa kila siku ni zawadi toka Maulana, so haja gani ushike tama mama, majaribu ishaoea. Nataka madui zangu watashikana na zao njama, siwaogopi na simama mama, ya kiama yawe yajaye. Yendo pesi na songa naye, wanashangaa kuna stress na kuanga naye. Naishi sansi na kesi mahakamani, au deni za majirani, niko fresh ndena ndani. Oh yeah, Mogopa Mungu peke, wanadamu kija kuntafash, naomba Mungu mtete. Maneno yao yasiniumize, nifanye sugu wewe. Wakifurahi ila naomba nisitetemeke. I know you love me, know you love me, baby, so I don't fear nobody but you. I know you love me, know you love me, baby, nisitetemeke. I know you love me, know you love me, baby, so I don't fear nobody but you. I know you love me, know you love me, baby, nisitetemeke. Siamini jodu vile naishi life ni ngumu kuamini hisi ndoto. Sijui kesho vile itakaa, kwa hivyo leo nitaifanya kaa kidogo wairidhishi roho. Yani sana, tena sana, hata wale wananichukia wananiheshimu bra, mimi si kidogo.